श्री अनिल देसाई जी से कहने से पहले प्रोफेसर एमवी राजीव गोंडा से कहेंगे, इसलिए कि इन्हें कहीं ज़रूरी काम से बाहर जाना है।
Thank you, Madam Vice Chairman. Madam, we are very much in support of this bill, which aims to address the challenge posed by fugitive economic offenders. In recent years, we've had very high-profile economic offenders flee our shores and then taunt us in foreign lands about how they are beyond the reach of Indian law. Therefore, the intent of this law is good. But I want to give the Finance Minister a series of practical suggestions on how to improve this law, because unfortunately it happens to be flawed in various dimensions. The very first point, ma'am, is that this is a law that is aimed at dealing with offenders who are leaving the country. So really, the effectiveness of such a law will be if it prevents even a single economic offender from fleeing the country from now on. But what steps is the government taking? What moves are being made to track potential fugitives and to find ways to ensure that they are actually prevented from leaving? That is not at all clear, and this seems to be a law that is only focused on curative aspects, on dealing with the problem after it has occurred. A good law will also prevent the problem from happening, madam. Now, when we think about other kinds of issues, one of the other problems is about, this is something that the chairman also flagged, about extradition. We need to have much better extradition processes, and that is not really in place. That is something that I would like the Finance Minister to tell us about. What kind of progress has been made? You know, when we think about this, madam, our Prime Minister goes to so many countries all the time. Why does he not go to those countries which are sheltering fugitive economic offenders? Why doesn't he use the might of the Indian economy to tell those countries to change their laws to allow us to recoup our fugitive economic offenders, to prevent them from taking citizenship of other countries when their countries know that they are wanted in our country for economic crimes? So that would be the best use of this kind of personal diplomacy. On the other hand, we have these symbolic measures, but not really anything that is actually translating into outcomes. The same problem related to extradition arises in the context of confiscation of property. One of the other aspects of this bill is that when somebody is declared a fugitive economic offender, their property in this country and abroad can be confiscated. Well, why will a foreign jurisdiction allow Indian law to apply there if these are civil cases and in those countries they may be willing to do that only in the context of criminal cases? So those are all nuances which the Finance Minister must iron out. Otherwise, we will be left with a toothless law which says a lot, but actually which barks but does not bite. That is the real challenge in this particular bill. There again, madam, many of the objections that foreign countries will have to extraditing people back to India would be, various concerns about Indian prison conditions, other kinds of issues. Hamara Mehul Bhai has just come up with the argument that lynching in India is going to prevent him from coming back, that it's a danger. So it will be good for the government to tackle or anticipate and tackle many of these objections that will be proffered by fugitive economic offenders and by governments abroad who will not necessarily and easily release people back to India, given some of the concerns about our own justice system. So government should really put in a lot of effort to fixing these problems in anticipation. The other major flaws, see, our Finance Minister would know very well that it's not just an individual. We like to say, we'd like to take the name of our old colleague Vijay Mallya, we like to talk about Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi, Jatin Mehta. These have been the prominent names in recent times, and some of them, of course, have been photographed or partying with the leadership of the ruling party. But the basic point is this. These offenses do not occur in a vacuum. They occur in association with, madam, बहुत समय है, madam.
आपके एक और सदस्य बोलेंगे.
Yeah, but देखिए, और 8 मिनट है, मैं 2 मिनट लूँगा.
आपके एक और सदस्य का
जरूर, उनको समय दिया हूँ, मैडम. बच गया, no problem. Okay, बचा हुआ है, okay. Bacha hua hai, okay? Anyway, ek minute. So the basic point is, a lot of officials, government officials, bankers are also conniving with these offenders to make these crimes possible. What action is being taken against that nexus? I don't see anything in here against those people or their benamis. Again, we don't have, the issue is there is also a web of holding companies, hidden assets, lots of other things that will be used by these offenders before they leave. What is here that will tackle any of that? Nothing is here. We need to fix that. And then already multiple people have flagged the issue of constitutional violations. Ma'am, it is entirely possible for a person to have his assets confiscated without actually being tried and convicted. This would be unconstitutional, and again, on that very basis, this law would be thrown out, and then we will have gone through this entire exercise for nothing. Nothing will be the result of the whole exercise. There was an Orissa Special Courts Act which actually allowed for confiscation, but only after conviction. So that has also got to be ironed out as we go forward. The other complication is that both the offender and the companies that he or she is involved with are barred from filing civil cases or taking part in any civil suits. This is, anyone could be part of a company, a director of a company where one of them is a fugitive economic offender, and there is no way they're barred from taking part in any civil action in any court, and that is really, really unconstitutional and needs to be addressed. So basically, ma'am, when you think about this particular law, it has more flaws. Intention is good, but it is riddled with flaws which make it ineffective. Therefore, I really doubt the intention of the government. Are they just trying to create a smokescreen saying they're doing something? This is what they did on multiple fronts when they talk about black money. It is not going to make anything change. We need a more effective law, and I really worry about the sincerity of the government, and therefore I will issue a challenge to Mr. Piyush Goyal, our finance minister. Let us see if you bring back even one fugitive economic offender before 2019. If you do not, hang your head in shame and tell us that you have failed in addressing the issue of black money and of economic crimes committed by your friends and your cronies. Thank you, madam.